Hello, Wrexham fans. How are you? I hope so. Today we have some exclusive news that will cheer up everyone who follows our beloved Wrexham AFC. A Tottenham star could be on his way to the club. Stay with me until the end of the video and I'll tell you everything in detail. But first, you know what I mean. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like, that way you won't miss any updates about the Red Dragons. Now, before the big bombshell, let's go over the main news that has shaken up Wrexham recently. Since Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney bought the club back in 2021, Wrexham has undergone a transformation, and the Hollywood glitter has arrived in full force in Wales. Paul Mullen, our top scorer, even appeared in Deadpool 3, sharing the screen with none other than the club's owner himself. And it didn't stop there. There have been a number of famous names that have passed through Wrexham. One of them, Channing Tatum, was featured in a Super Bowl commercial for the club at the start of the 2024-25 season. He even came to watch a match with Reynolds in person. That game, by the way, was against Cambridge United on December 14th. The match ended in a 2-2 draw, but there was a memorable moment. Stephen Fletcher came off the bench and scored one of the goals. And it was precisely in that match that a hilarious chat took place between Ryan Reynolds and Channing Tatum, who now appears in episode 4 of the new season of Welcome to Wrexham. As Fletcher was coming onto the pitch, Reynolds turned to Tatum and said, "He's a monster. He must be about 36. He can do a bicycle kick in the air." Tatum burst out laughing and replied, "I loved it." Now for the most emotional part. Stephen Fletcher, who was Wrexham's top scorer last season despite playing as a substitute, is saying goodbye to the club. And, according to him, it was not by choice. At 38, Fletcher officially says goodbye on June 30th, when his contract ends. And what he wrote to the fans touched everyone's hearts. He quotes, "It is with a heavy heart, and not by choice, that I sadly have to announce my departure from what I can only describe as the most magical club I have ever played for." He goes on to thank the club, the fans, his teammates and the owners, Rob and Ryan. He says he fell in love with football all over again while playing for Wrexham and that the experiences he had here will mark his life forever. "You have given me a purpose again. You have made this old Scot feel like he was home." Now hold on to this, fans. Wrexham have made history once again. When the 2024-25 season came to an end, the Red Dragons finished with no less than 92 points in the third division, a club record. And what does that mean? That Wrexham are moving up again. With 3 consecutive promotions, the team will now play in the Championship, the English Second Division, for the first time since the 1980s. That's right. A huge feat that shows how much the club has grown in recent years. But now comes the question, what can we expect from next season? The club has been instructed to make between 6 and 9 signings to build a strong and competitive squad. And there's more. Rob McElhenney doesn't just want to stay in the Championship. He has already made it clear that the idea of consolidation in 2025-26 is not in the plans. The goal could be another promotion. Could the Premier League be on the horizon? Don't worry, the road ahead is long, but there's one detail that could help. One of Wrexham's potential rivals could start the season at a huge disadvantage. Leicester City, who were relegated from the Premier League along with Ipswich Town and Southampton, could be punished with a minimum deduction of 12 points before the game even starts. You heard right, 12 points less. According to iNews, the Foxes are being accused of violating the Profitability and Sustainability Rules, PSR, due to their finances until 2023-24. For those who don't know, teams that are relegated from the Premier League usually bounce back quickly. Burnley did it last season, Sheffield United almost did it, and Leeds returned after 2 years. With this possible punishment, Leicester could start behind, and this could open up more space for clubs like our Wrexham. But what about Wrexham? Do they need to worry about the PSR? The good news is that not for now. According to expert Adam Williams, who analyzed the club's finances, the numbers are solid and Wrexham is within the required limits. He explained that in the Championship the PSR system assesses profits and losses, not just revenue, and that there is a margin of up to £41 million in possible losses over 3 years, as long as they involve permitted investments, such as infrastructure. In other words, if the club invests heavily, for example, in improvements to the stadium, this does not count towards the PSR. In 2023-24, Wrexham had a loss of less than £3 million, which leaves a considerable margin to invest in this next season, even with the increase in the wage bill and spending on reinforcements. Bottom line, Wrexham is in good financial shape, can hire with some freedom, and can even benefit from a possible punishment for Leicester. What if I told you that Jake Paul's next opponent could be a Wrexham player? James McLean, 36, became a hot topic after challenging Jake to a boxing match. And the guy has a knack for it. He's always posting videos of himself training and is seen as the tough guy of the team. Ryan Reynolds, who is a declared McLean fan, commented on the possibility during a podcast. But he joked that coach Phil Parkinson wouldn't like the idea of losing his player to the ring. An important detail: McLean's contract ends in 2026. In other words, if he doesn't renew, this fight could actually happen at the end of next season. For now, he remains focused on Wrexham and wants to be a key player once again in the championship. But tell me, would you watch Jake Paul versus McLean? Comment what you think and stay tuned, because there's more news coming. Just imagine this scenario: a Premier League veteran, with over 300 games under his belt and a consolidated career in the English football elite, deciding to end his career at a club that has become a worldwide sensation. Well, this could be Wrexham's next move, and the name of the moment is none other than Ben Davies, Tottenham defender and legend of the Wales national team. According to Football League World, Wrexham are eyeing Davies to strengthen the team in the championship, and more than that, they want to give him a Hollywood-worthy end to his career. And let's face it, it has everything to do with the club, right? After achieving 3 promotions in 2 years, Wrexham want to keep dreaming big. And to do so, they know they need big names, experience and leadership on the field. Davies, 32, is leaving Tottenham after a decade defending the London club. And now, with his career coming to an end, he is looking for a new challenge. And who knows, maybe that challenge will be to return home, to Wales, and help a project that has thrilled fans around the world. Manager Phil Parkinson has made no secret of the fact that he is looking for experienced players to strengthen the squad. And with a budget of £25 million for signings, Wrexham will spare no effort. Ben Davies is on the list. And even though he currently earns, according to estimates, around £80,000 a week at Spurs, the Welsh club would be willing to open their pockets to convince the defender. Of course, it remains to be seen whether Davies believes he has unfinished business in the Premier League. But if he accepts a drop down a division, Wrexham could be the ideal setting for an exciting final chapter. In addition to the Premier League, Davies has also won over 90 caps for Wales and has already played in 3 major international tournaments. An impressive CV. And think about it, he has never played outside of the top flight of English football. Going to Wrexham would be an unprecedented and bold choice. But it would also be a return to the roots, a gift for Welsh fans, and a masterstroke for a club that wants to prove, once and for all, that it is ready to reach the Premier League. So, fans, do you think Ben Davies would accept this challenge with Wrexham? Let us know in the comments. This potential signing could change everything for next season.